Good evening. It's June 2025 in the Netherlands, and I'm here to share about how I feel and maybe some stories. First, I'd like to talk about, let's take this playbook, because now I will tell stories using the playbook, one story at a time. This is the fourth playbook. I have 3 other playbooks here, all rich with stories waiting to be told. But tonight, I'll tell you the story of the 4th playbook. On June the 4th, 2025, a man that I met in Berlin texted me. He said, I overheard you telling your story of Baby Pro, and I want to tell you this. You're living a life freedom from the known. Because I felt what I meant when I say I don't know on March the 6th, 2021. Freedom from the known. I decided to launch a new collection called babypro.now. It's basically a way for me to tell the story of what's happening now, what I'm doing right now, and end it with a note. A positive note to everyone watching it. I was inspired by David Lynch, Weather's Report. Every single day, he will post a video of himself reporting the weather in where he lives. And then some interesting thing that happened to him on that moment or just yesterday. And then he would say this, "Have a good day, everyone." That's his style. I will have my own style. I was invited on this day to an outing to a tipi in Tilburg, where I live, with Holdert and 6 other humans. I took my toys and took a photo. I call it the 7. That's 7 of us, and behind us is a tipi, and we were playing instruments. I recorded the whole performance. A dancer, a storyteller, a builder, an artist, a chef, a musician, and a singer. This video will be made to commemorate the 7th generation. I also received an email from Stefan. Stefan is the father of 2 German child that I met in Berlin, whom I captured them playing wooden sticks in the park. I got permission from the grandmother to film them playing. I surprised them with a photo, and I told them, "Remember the wonder in you." The grandmother was delighted and got my contact. I promised to share her the work that I'll be doing. But I received an email from Stefan saying that I should be deleting all the content. But I responded to him my intent, and he understood. And this is what he wrote. "Hello Ming, thank you for your prompt and understanding response. My concern was a result of not being present in the situation and therefore not being able to build trust. After all, this involves the rights of my children. However, I do understand your desire to capture special moments. Your thoughtful reply has helped me gain trust, and I'm now willing to give my consent in this way. Please forgive my initial mistrust. It wasn't personal at all. I didn't want to stand in the way of your artistic ambitions. If you can draw something valuable for your artistic journey from the recordings, then you are welcome to do so. I would be happy if we could also receive the recordings. I wish you all the best too. Warm regards, Stefan. This was a beautiful closure. A very beautiful one. And it happened on this day, the 5th of June, 2025. On the 6th of July, 2025, 6th of June, 2025, I log on to Reddit and check the notification. I receive a message from a stranger. It says, "Hello, I'm just curious if your videos are AI. I think it would be awesome if you interact with the people personally." He was referring to the videos I made of me talking about Mr. K. As Mr. K said, I posted 7 videos, 1 video a day, of me sharing a wisdom that Mr. K has taught me, and I'll relate it with my life experience. When I post those videos, I never really checked what the results are, because that's how I do it. I don't check the comments, I don't check anything. I don't want to check the views. But this day I decided to check it. And this man thought that my video was generated by AI because I never responded to any of the comments. I read the comments. Some of the comments were really negative. One particular comment was a quote, "My awakening," quote. That was an indirect mock to my claim of my awakening, as if I do not deserve to be awakened. Such comments, if not handled properly, could throw me out of balance. That is why I avoid reading comments in the first place. Other comments were critical of the quotes that I quoted Mr. K. Some disagree with what I've said. Most of the comments on Reddit were either neutral or negative. So this is what I responded to him. "Hi there, apologies for not responding sooner. I've been quiet in the comments because many of them come across as judgmental or closed off, and I wanted to keep the space for honest reflection. I really appreciate the way you've written your comments, open, respectful, and inviting dialogue. Thank you for that. For now, my heart is open to engage." Because this man wants to engage with me, but I did not respond. So he thought that my content was AI generated. It was not AI generated. It was AI supported. I received a message from Tyler on Instagram. Tyler is a Malaysian engineer I met in a hackathon in Berlin. And he was curious about my story, so he came to speak to me one-on-one. I told him about my story, and he was surprised with what he has heard. And there was once he told me about his girlfriend, and he mentioned her as his rock. And that's when I remember that there was another friend who said the same thing about his girlfriend. It was Ryan. I met Ryan in Hong Kong after 10 years. And there we shared a conversation, unfiltered, recorded. He shared that his girlfriend is like a rock to him, who he can look into whenever he has problems, there to support him, there to bounce ideas with him, there to reflect him. So when I made the message to the future Ryan, I did mention about her as his rock. So when Tyler mentioned about his girlfriend as being the rock, I knew I had to ask him why. So I share the conversation I had with Ryan about the rock with Tyler, and also the video to the future Ryan, which I will share a year later. This is what Tyler wrote. Hey, so I read everything and I watched the whole clip. Life is fleeting, and so is time. I apologize for the delayed response, as I have duties to complete. You have a video for Ryan that will surely touch him. And honestly, I sure hope his rock doesn't bulge when you show him the video a year later. If anything, I think a documentary about rock in the context of romantic relationships will move many. I'll even participate to contribute to that story. And here I wrote, I will create a new art collection exploring relationships, and I'll name it The Rock. June 7th, 2025. As I was traveling to Amsterdam by train, I had an insight. What is it like to be calm when you're supposed to feel panic? What is it like to feel panic when you're supposed to be calm? So in the train, I was calm. And I thought, what's it like to feel panic at that moment? To imagine a situation that makes me feel panic. Because then I will become aware of the present moment, that I am calm. The contrast, it's clear. And can I imagine being on a train, rushing to the airport, feeling panic that I might miss my flight, but to remain calm at that moment. To me, I call this the practice of opposites. Not only it helps you to be aware of the moment, it also trains you to be calm at all times. It's tough, but the key is not to take the calm moment for granted. That is why, even in calm moments, we have to remember the storm and feel it. That's when we will appreciate the calm moments. So again, I call this the practice of opposites, and I will practice it. I had a date with Marianne. She was so eager to meet me. We met at a cafe next to a train station, and I saw her parking her bike, locking it next to an outdoor gym equipment. We were seated outside, but at one point she asked me if I would like to sit inside because I was feeling cold. So we went inside. We continued talking for half an hour. When we got out, I found out that her bike was no longer there. And it was true. Her bike was stolen at that moment. We were spied and targeted. On this day, I came to Amsterdam for a new experience. To tell the story of a museum, not just any ordinary museum, a Banksy museum. I was invited because a man who I met in a hackathon in Amsterdam saw me and told her girlfriend who works at the museum about me, and that's why the invitation was extended. This is what she wrote, Alicia. When I was told about Baby Pro, I was told about an artist, and when he arrived, it was indeed an artist I had in front of me. A very creative person, but one who knows what he's doing. 1:45 p.m. Banksy Museum. I've directed her to shoot at least 8 scenes, I think, around the museum. It was just recently opened a few days, so it was really cool to be there. In fact, I finished the video already today. My first museum walk. And more to come. I can't wait, humans, for you to give me the opportunity to play in your museum. This is the day I also attended a farewell drinks of a friend who I've known for almost 4 years, Nico. Nico has a friend. I call him the Beer King. Beer King has invited me one day to a brewery to make his own beer, and I was there to capture the story. And he has been so impressed with whatever I do. Every time he will say great things whenever he meets me. The Beer King, that's how I call him. And he calls me the Camera King. This is what he wrote. We met the first time on 31st December 2022. It was New Year's Eve, party in a gallery. I was amazed by your drone skills and the sick video you made. A few months later, in April 2023, you made the legendary footage for Volbeer. Thank you very much, Patrick, Beer King. Haha, Nico's farewell. Haha. 8th of June 2025. Boundary on revisions. So I work at a hackathon organized by Mike. And Mike and Minnie They were both organizers of the hackathon, their first hackathon. And with them, I received a lot of revisions requests. More than usual, to fix small minor details. They have an expectation of how things should be. And it's just not once, it's multiple times. So I notice how such activity irritates me because it takes presence away from what I'm doing. When I finish a work, I want to let it go so I could have a blank canvas to work on the new project, the new art. So it's clear that I need to put a boundary on revisions to avoid such situations from happening in the future. $1,000 per museum. That's the target that I'm aiming for my next museum assignment. Now I'm being paid 500 euros for this work that I've done for the Banksy Museum. I received a message on Instagram by Dom. Dom is an AI, Asperger intelligence, I met in a hackathon in Munich. I gave him an experience of flying my FPV drone and also capture our conversation on camera, allowing him to hear his own voice and how he speaks to others for the first time in his life. And for that, he appreciates it. He's been following me, and he got his first drone because of the inspiration I gave him. Here he wrote something. I don't know how your account doesn't have 100,000 followers yet. Your content is both visually and spiritually stunning. I don't know either, Dom, but one thing for sure is that I will continue and it will never stop. I told humans about this, and this is what humans wrote. Imagine your art is a flower. It blooms, it gives fragrance. It is complete in itself. But whether the bees comes or not, it's beyond its control. If the bees come, that's beautiful. If the bee doesn't come, it's still whole. June 9th, 2025. I made a huge investment. I spent $1,000 on sunglasses for Miss Mavic as well as my Sony A1 camera in preparation for an expedition in Sweden. Sam, a DJ, also an expedition expert, has a dream, and he told me that his dream is to bring me along to his expedition in Sweden, in which he has founders traveling, hiking with him for a whole week in the wilderness of Sweden, northern Sweden. It's a dream of him to have me to capture the story, and I agreed. That's why I'm going to Sweden, northern Sweden, Kiruna, in the end of August with him. And because it's sunny, I need to prepare sunglasses for Miss Mavic and A1. Here is a moment in which Sam, it's a testament of Sam's admiration of me. It's a message between Sam and Venkat. Venkat is looking for a filmmaker for an event, and Sam is speaking to Venkat about me. Hello, Sam. This is Venkat. And Sam shares my contact. He said, he is a genius, very good, very reliable, big heart. I am recommending you. That's why he wrote to me, sharing that screenshot. I think it's taking too much energy for me to express the story day by day. I should have done this every day so that I don't have to go in one go. It's really tiring. I'm tired. I'm tired for a reason. I'm tired because I've pushed myself to deliver so much work in 48 hours, and I finished it. So now my body is relaxed. And this always happens. Whenever I'm busy and then I find myself free again with space, my body relaxes, my mind relaxes, and I feel vulnerable, because then the water is left by itself. Then the water becomes clear. Then you can see what's underneath. So that's what's happening. So what am I seeing? Okay. I'm seeing my insecurity about not being paid. So I feel that I'm not being paid on time for some of the work that I've done. Some humans prefer to take their time to pay after the work is done. And I don't feel comfortable. And this insecurity exists. And it exists for many reasons. But one of the reasons is because there are cases where I've delivered the work and I'm not paid. And it's not very nice when I have to incur costs and expenses to make that work, to fix my toys, to pay for my transport, to pay for my food and water to sustain the body, and not getting reimbursed for the expenses. So if it repeats, the insecurity will remain alive. So that's in my mind. And the fact that my bank account is getting smaller and smaller adds to the insecurity. And it's getting smaller because my expenses are very high compared to the income. And the income doesn't always come on time. But I have to trust the process and allow it to be, and accept that whatever happens, happens. We have to go forward. The most important thing is that we continue. I don't know where I'm going to be heading when I continue this journey. I just feel that this journey is the right path for me, but I do not know where I'm headed. We will continue the journey until we hit 2032, where a new chapter begins. Humans of June 2025. We have arrived.